For those who are excited to jump right to the chord diagrams and chord shapes in this video and skip some of the discussion and explanation that happens prior, you can skip to this timestamp right now. What's happening, everyone? Happy to be back here with another lesson video. I wanted to take a break from scales and all that nonsense today and talk to you guys about chords, bar chords in particular. Bar chords are often feared and cause panic and instill intimidation and all that fun, all those fun feelings, right? As true as that can be in the early stages, I thought that I could share with you some key shapes that you should know, where they come from, and to start things off, how to make a bar chord in general. All right, so we're going to cover all those things. I want to start off with mentioning two things, okay? Because this is going to cover most of the bar chord shapes that we encounter, and that is the E family and the A family. What I mean by that is that these shapes are derived from what we know as an E minor, an E7, and an E major 7, okay, and an E minor 7, okay. And the A family are a series of bar chords that are derived from what we recognize first as chords, open string chords that include A major, A minor 7, A major 7, A dominant 7. So E family, E major, E minor, E7, E minor 7, and E major 7. Okay? And all you're really doing is momentarily forgetting about the existence of this finger. So now you have to play these chords with these three fingers only, okay? And I think the first and easiest example to show and to demonstrate would be to play an E major, right? Then we have this guy over here. Because really, if this was a bar chord, the bar is the nut, right? And bar chords are slidable, movable chords, because we are treating this finger like a movable nut, right? Okay? So, if you know your musical alphabet, and you know your relationship of half steps and whole steps between two notes within an octave, meaning E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, and E, then this won't be too hard to figure out. You're going to use that same information and translate it to the A string starting on the note A. Back to E. E major, if we want to go up one fret, we have to throw a bar down on the first fret. And now we have an F major. We have an F sharp major, a G major, G sharp major. You see what we're doing here. If I have an A, now I know many people out there probably play A with three fingers. I don't know how many people play it like this, but I do know that there are some people that do. That will make this make a little bit more sense, okay? So you slide up. You could either play with the three fingers like this, and you bar. I am not very good at this shape with these three fingers. I prefer, you can do this instead. You can bar, double bar. So you cover those three strings as if you were playing a one fret A, one finger A. Drop the bar, that A becomes a B flat. All right? So, if this is making sense so far, I want to show you a few different variations of these shapes that can get you a lot of really cool sounds that you can apply to a lot of songs, that exist in a lot of songs, and depending on which route you take, genre-wise, you'll see more of these shapes more often. All right, so looking at the E family, let's go somewhere comfortable. G. Why is this a G? Okay, we took this E shape from here. This is an E. Up a half step is F. F sharp, G. Okay, so I'm going to teach you 5 different shapes that you can pull from here that will get you a mixture of tonalities, which is really cool. All right, in layman's terms, this shit just sounds cool and it's good to know. All right, G major. We have G minor. You lift up the middle finger. And you have G7 or G dominant 7, where you lift the pinky up and you put the middle finger back down. Those are your core 3. Major, minor, and dominant 7th. Okay? You'll get a ton of mileage out of those. So that being said, I wanted to show you 2 other shapes that really start to add some color to your chords. That is the major 7 and minor 7. The only real oddball here is the major 7 chord, because it's actually not really a bar at all. All right. So what you have to get used to is muting the A string. Most often it's the index finger that does this, is muting the A string with your first finger. Okay. The minor 7 has its other challenges. I think the biggest challenge for the minor 7, which is simply a minor bar chord, and you lift up your pinky. Okay. The challenge here is that your bar finger is doing almost all the work, right? So you really have to have good technique with the bar finger. You don't want this problem, right? And that's probably what it's going to sound like in the beginning, and that's okay. So we have our 5 shapes from the E family: major, minor, dominant 7th, major 7th, and minor 7th. Okay? All right. I want to keep the tonality the same, so I figure we do G, we do G. Okay? There's a mini lesson to be learned in this. When you learn these chords, these 10 shapes, or I should say when you learn these 2 families, you then will always have a minimum of 2 places that you can play every chord that you know. Sometimes 3, because you know some of these open string chords. G, G, G. All right? It opens doors. It really does help. Okay? So moving on down, or moving on up to the 10th fret, we have our A major, right, esque kind of shape here. This is G major. All right. Thinking about an A minor down here with these 3 fingers now. Okay, we go up here. We have G minor. Remember, I'm just using the words A major, A minor, blah, 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 because we're deriving from here. Scooting them on up and laying that bar down. Okay? We have A7. Right? Okay? The major 7 shapes for the A family are, in my opinion, definitely easier than getting used to that, okay? It's this right here. And then if we want to do a G minor 7, we have this right here. So to eliminate confusion, I think I just flip-flopped between saying A and G a little too much. We have G major, G minor, G dominant 7, G major 7, and G minor 7. Okay? I want to leave you with a chord progression that uses a good amount of these 10 shapes I just showed you. I think it uses 5 or 6. I think 5. So we're batting 500, right? We got half in there. But I'm just going to jam out to this, and I'm going to let the video kind of fade into the sunset. Before we do, I'd just like to say thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you dig what I'm doing and you dig what you're hearing. These videos take a long time to make, and they're made with a lot of love. So any support you can offer this channel greatly helps me and this channel. So cheers, guys. Thank you so much. Let's get to it. 3, 2, 1.